And just like that, I am back. This is Oleg, and today we're going to do something interesting. You know how automation these days is a hot item, and everybody wants to automate everything, and there's a number of different choices. You have like Relay app is the one I like to use for automation. You have Make, you have Zapier, and some of them are less expensive, some more expensive. I recommend Relay because it's much better priced than other services. But the important thing is that all of them do the same thing in terms of connecting different apps together and then being able to get data from one app, put it into the other app in terms of some of the information from the first app, and then do something with it. And then you automate it by having all these steps, which is cool. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a simple way to bring up a space for Perplexity that I set up that shows me the weather report in the style of Bill Burr. Okay, something I did a while back. I have another video. If you look to my videos, you'll see this video. What I show exactly how I did it. It's not that difficult. Perplexity does a beautiful job. Great. All I wanted to do was bring up this one Perplexity space, enter a keyword it needs to be able to run, and just show me the output. That's all. That's the entire automation, keeping it simple. The problem is that most of these, practically all of them, I should say, at least I haven't seen any other ones that do it differently. They use APIs for AI, which do not allow you to do this simple thing like that. Because I cannot run a Perplexity space, do something with it using automation. I can use Perplexity API to jump into it and do different things with it, to write code for that. But I cannot simply just activate my space, type in a keyword, and have it show the actual end result. What I'm going to do today is show you how you can do this on your end using this program called AutoHotkey, as you can see in front of you. This is not accidental. That's exactly what this is all about today. And so AutoHotkey is basically a macro hotkey program that allows you to tie specific keyboard combinations to some sort of action, which can include anything to do on your computer. So think of it as Claude's computer use, OpenAI's operator, all of that stuff. You can download it. It doesn't cost anything. They do have a donate button, which if you use it, I definitely recommend you support them because they did a phenomenal job. And there is actually a scripting language built in into this program. For all of you who are, oh my God, I don't want to do any programming. Don't worry, you don't have to do any programming. Yes, it does have a programming language. And the beauty of having a programming language for automation is that you can control every single aspect of that automation according to your own rules and your own preferences. That's the beauty of it. Okay? On one hand, it's nice to have something just done, but if you want to be able to really control all the interim steps to get it done the way you want it, you really need to have something like a scripting language. And this thing has it built in. But you won't have to learn programming to do it. Don't worry about that. I'll show you as part of this process what to do. So first, let's do this. Let me show you the demonstration of what it actually does. So I'm sitting on a screen. I don't have to sit here. I could be sitting on, I don't care, PCS website. It doesn't really matter where I'm sitting. Let's say I'm sitting somewhere. It doesn't matter where. I could even have the browser be closed. It doesn't matter. And then when I hit Control-Shift-W, which is what I programmed it to use, you will see that it automatically jumps into this screen here. And then I get the weather report updated with today's date. See, it's February 19th at 4:32 p.m. Pacific time, which is exactly what time is it now. And I have the information. So I just hit a combination of keys on my keyboard, and this is the display I got, okay? Which is exactly what I wanted this automation to be like, where I don't have to do anything. Now, the reality, the way it actually works is when you go and open up a space on Perplexity, it doesn't do anything. It just shows you that space. And so to be able to actually have it do some sort of automated action or some sort of action, you need to give it some sort of a keyword. And then in your custom instructions, it'll know based on that keyword, it's supposed to do something. So in my case, I told it, whenever I type in the word weather, I wanted to give me a weather report for Redmond, for the most current whatever they have, and I want it to be done in the style of Bill Burr, the comedian. Okay, so as you can see, if you look at the screen, you can see that this is not your regular weather report. It says here's the lowdown on what Mother Nature is throwing our way. Current temperature shows the temperature, not too shabby. Day low and high shows that. It says to grab a light jacket, folks. And then air quality is pretty decent, but don't go breathing too hard. It's a moderate level. So you can see a bunch of humor in there, similar to the style of how Bill Burr would do it. So it just makes it more fun. That's all this particular space does. It's just set up to give you a weather report. You type in the word weather in the style of Bill Burr. And then at the end, it asks, do you want to see what's in store for the next 10 days? So if I type in yes, right here, then it's going to go ahead and give me in Perplexity's awesome way how it does everything, the next 10 days. And then there's a little bit of humor here at the end. Yeah. So basically, that's how this thing works. Okay. And again, all I have to do is if I close this, and if I sit on, doesn't matter where I'm sitting, even if I close the browsers, let's say, and hit Control Shift W, it's going to be running automatically and just going to kick it in, open the browser window, and you don't even see it typing the word, but it actually does everything in one shot. And then there's the report there. And this is a 435 now. That's how this thing works. As you can see, it's completely automated with just a keystroke. You can get it. And the reason I'm showing it to you is because it's not just about getting this weather report. What I want to show you is if you think about what you can potentially do with this, where you can open the browser and then you can go and have it do something, and you can actually control what things are getting entered in the browser itself, what commands are being specified, everything else. If you can automate all these different tasks, you basically can build yourself all kinds of agents, as they're called these days, that do multiple tasks. Okay? And then what you can also do, because you're talking about running something on your local computer, you can also generate files. And then when you generate files with some of the information, like for example here, what I could do if I wanted to is when it gives me this report, it gives me Perplexity gives me ability to copy. And so if I copy this report into a clipboard, and then let's say I open up a notepad, then as you can see, it comes up with notepad, and I can actually, let's bring it down a bit here. I can actually hit Control V to paste it. And this is, I have the report right there. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing I had. It actually gives it to me as text. What can I do with this text file? Whatever I want. I can drop it into email. I can automatically email myself if I wanted to. It doesn't have to be done in this multiple steps. I can have the actual automation handle it all in one shot. So it's super useful in terms of what you can do. If you can just think a little bit out of the box here and think about what you can do with this, I'm sure you can come up with all kinds of different ways of how you can use this method of executing something with just a keystroke combination on your computer, and then have it do all kinds of things potentially with the browser. It doesn't have to be the browser, by the way. You can open up Windows apps, do something with them. It's virtually limitless, the amount of things that you can come up with and automate using this approach. And so combination of using AI and using this, you can create some super powerful stuff. So let's talk a little bit about how to actually make it happen. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to AutoHotkey. I believe it's just AutoHotkey.com. And so when you open up AutoHotkey.com, it gives you their website. And over here, you see a big download button. So you just click on that. And as you can see, they only run this thing on Windows. If you're a Mac person, then you shouldn't have bought a Mac. But seriously, though, basically, I'm sure they probably have something similar on the Mac. You just have to adapt that way. But on the PC, you can download this thing from here, and then you can install it. It takes a couple of seconds to install it, and then you're basically done. And then what you want to do is they will allow you to create what they call scripts, which is their language that you use. And to create a script looks something like this. Like, for example, this script that I got done for this Perplexity space I'm showing you. This is all that's required. It's basically these lines with semicolons are just comments. So you can see it's actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 6 lines of commands to do what it did. And I just quickly walk you through it. It basically says use Control Shift W as the definition for what to do. So it basically defines that particular keystroke first. Then it says define what you want to open. By the way, this was all written by Perplexity. I'll show you in a minute how I did it. I did not write this code. I had Perplexity write it for me. So that's why I was telling you earlier, you don't need to know how to program. You can just ask Perplexity or ChatGPT or Claude. Any of those, I'm sure, can do it. I use Perplexity. So it says define what you want to open. So it'll give you basically the command with example.com as the URL. Obviously, you have to put your own URL in there. You just simply modify it, and this is all text. Any text editor will do. I put in my link to my weather space on Perplexity. And then it says it'll actually run whatever the URL is. It'll open it up. Then it says sleep for 3,000 milliseconds. Because it runs so quickly, it needs to have a little bit of time for the browser to open and show the screen. That's why they're doing the sleep thing. And then it says click inside the chat window. So then I wanted to have the automation click where the chat window, the chat box is in a particular position. That means 710 pixels from the left side and 475 from the top. And then once it clicks in there, to send the word weather, which is how I programmed it to use the word weather. So it enters the word weather. You don't even see it. When I hit Control Shift W, you'll see it just jumps and then it just shows you literally, you don't even see typing weather. It's so quick. So let's go back to the script here. That's basically all there is to it. That's the entire thing to make it all work and make it all happen. And so then what happens is it creates the script as a little text file. Let me pull up let's see. So I called it Perplexity Weather. Obviously, you can call these things anything you want, but they have the extension AHK, which stands for AutoHotkey. And that's just a text file using the program that you get from them. It's able to compile this into an executable. And that's what you want to have. You want to have the executable. And this executable, if you want, you can set it up as a startup in the beginning when your computer boots up. So you don't have to start anything. It just automatically will have these key combinations in place. You can have a bunch of them. Obviously, it doesn't have to be one. And then it automatically knows them. It's running in the down below here. Let me move myself out of the way. If you go to the tray, you can see that AutoHotkey right there, this H is running. And in this case, it's running Perplexity Weather exe, but it could have a bunch of different definitions in it. You can call it whatever you want to call it. And so that's that. And then once you do that, then you basically run the main program that comes with AutoHotkey, which is right here, AutoHotkey dash it's called. One of the things it allows you to do is create new scripts. You can look at all the different things you can do, but the main thing is this compile option. So when you click on compile, it's going to come back with this interface saying, what do you want to compile? So I'm going to click on browse. I'm going to find my Perplexity Weather HK, which is the text file I just showed you. And I'm going to click on open. And then you don't have to change anything else unless you want to. And you click on convert. And then it says there's already one running. Do you want to unload, reload, cancel? I want to reload. So it basically gets rid of the old version that was running, and now it's running the new version. And once you get done, then at this point you're all done. And now it's actually up and running. Again, if you look at the tray, you can see that's up and running. So if we hit Control Shift W, it comes up with this. Now, if we were to go ahead and let's close this for a second. And if we go back down here to the tray, right click and say exit the script. So it's not running anymore. And now if we go ahead and hit again Control Shift W, right now, as you can see, it's not doing anything because it doesn't know what to do because they didn't specify anything. So now Control Shift W means close Windows, which is not what I wanted to do, but that's what Windows does. So it's Windows function to close the windows. I close my windows. So we'll have to reopen that. And let's do that. And there it is. Okay. So we're back to the window. So basically, that's the entire process to do this in terms of you download, install it one time, and then you use it, the executable, to create a script, just a text file, which will do X number of steps, which could be as many or as few as you wish. And then when it's running, you assign in the script there which key you want to use, key combo. And then once you get that done, then anytime you hit that key, it's going to execute that particular script. Now, back to the concept. We don't want to program. How do we script? So if you want to be able to create a script for this, all you have to do is go to Perplexity, like we're here, And you can say something like, I'd like to write a script for AutoHotkey to open a web browser. And then let's go to door dash to order some food. Let's say that's all we wanted to do. Okay. So you just hit enter, and immediately it comes back with the deal right here. It says we're going to assign Control Alt D. With, like I said, you can just easily change this letter to be something else. You don't have to use the one they want. And it says run this. So if we were to use this particular combo, let's go ahead and copy the definition into our main script here. So I'm going to put it in my Perplexity weather. That's not a good name for this because obviously it's going to be more than just weather. But for now, we'll change this one. You understand that you need to have names that mean something. If you're only going to have one of these things running, then just call it something like main AutoHotkey, something that would be meaningful to you. And let's just open it up. Let's go ahead and copy it. And let's go back to the script and hit Control V to paste it. So now we have several scripts here. So we'll just have Control Alt D and we'll do the thing. Okay. And so then I'm going to go ahead and save it. And now that we have it saved, now I need to compile it. Every time you want to run it, you need to make sure that the executable actually is available. So you need to run the AutoHotkey command, and we want to do compile, and we want to use our main script, and we're going to do open, and we're going to do convert. Okay. And now it's up and running. Now we need to run it first. So then we go back to where it's converted it to, which is the same directory, and double click on the green H, which will actually run it. It's not going to do anything, just run it. So it's available for our use. And now if we hit Control Shift W, we can see that it comes up with the build bar deal. And then close that. And notice that we've got, the first one was Control Shift W, this one is Control Alt D, not Control Shift. So if we hit Control Alt D, then we get something that looks like this, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And so this would be an example here where you could have it click on continue myself out of the way. And over here, I could continue as Oleg. So that's another click on that button. And then when it logs in, you can do the address thing. And now you can set it up to have a complete, if you do, let's say, the same orders over and over, then you can potentially set it up so you have this one automation. You hit the keystroke and thing goes out there to whatever website, fills in all your information, orders pizza for you. So there's like a little agent running on your local end. So it's very useful. Like I said, there's a lot of possibilities for how it could be used. And so I definitely recommend it. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any concerns or any problems, reach out. I'll be happy to help you. And I think the combination of using AutoHotkey on your local machine with using AI, like Perplexity or ChatGPT or whatever you want to use, and then potentially automating it with some other tools as well. For example, you create this file, and then potentially you could have that file be sent using email or put in a spreadsheet, and then you could have something like relay that app, open the spreadsheet, grab the information from there, feed it to another tool, and so you can tie all these things together and potentially create very complicated and very useful and very potent automations using combination of your computer with using this tool, using AI, and using various different apps. So very potent, very powerful. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Until next time, I'm Oleg.